Hey guys, Coach Justin here with your at-home workout of the day for Friday, January 29th. Our prep for today, we're going to start with 5 reps on each side of a wall wipe, followed by 5 reps on each side of a Cossack squat, and then finally 10 reps on each side of a hip slide or hip flexor stretch. So our wall wipe, I'm going to make my way over this way. What you're going to do is stand beside a wall, hip and shoulder up against the wall, and then you're going to place your palm flat on the wall. And you're coming up, over, and around, trying to keep your armpit as close to the wall as you can. As you come up, over, and back behind you, and then bring that arm back down to your hip. And then you're gonna come up, over, and back to your starting position. Again, trying to keep that armpit as close to the wall as you can. And when you get back down to your starting position, you've completed 1 rep. You're gonna do 5 reps per side. Next, our Cossack squat. So you're gonna get into a nice wide stance here. And if you have some bad knees, what you can do is grab onto a post or something that can help you balance. And you're gonna shift your weight over to one side. So I'm gonna go over to my left here. And as you shift over, you're gonna turn that trailing toe up towards the ceiling, sink your hip down nice and low, butt to ankle as close as you can. Foot stays flat on the ground without the toe pointing out too far. Notice how my arm's out for counterbalance here. And then you're gonna get up, put that foot flat back on the ground again, and then pivot the other toe up towards the ceiling and sink down deep into that side and shift your weight back and forth. All right. You can hold that bottom position for a moment on each side. You're gonna do 5 per side, and again, if you need to grab onto something for balance to help you, feel free to do so. Finally, we're gonna do a hip flexor stretch or hip slide. Set yourself up in a half kneeling position, have your toe pointing away from you, and then whichever knee is down, that arm is gonna go up to the sky as you slide forward, squeeze that butt cheek, and open up the hip flexor on the front side. And stretch upwards to help lengthen and elongate as well. Come back down out of it before you repeat. All right, so try not to arch back, but only drive forward with that glute engaging in that forward direction. Go back and forth for 10 reps before you switch legs and do 10 reps on the other side. We're gonna go through those 3 movements for 3 rounds, and that's your prep for today. All right, our strength for today, we're starting with a push-up drop set. So 5 reps plus 5 reps plus max reps of the push-up drop set. I'm gonna go over what that means in a moment here. Then we're gonna do 8 reps or more of Copenhagen planks on each side. And finally, 1 minute of a wall sit march. So our push-up drop set. If you take a look at your workout briefing, you'll see a list of different progressions of push-ups. You're gonna pick a starting point. Okay, so I'm gonna go through every single variation here right now. So starting with feet elevated, you're gonna start with your toes on top of your box bench stool or ottoman, hands on the ground. Try to keep that straight line from your head to your feet as you come on down towards the ground. Press yourself up. So there's your first variation. Your second variation, the next regression, would be a plyometric push-up. So from your toes and your hands on the ground, get your chest down nice and low and jump off the ground with your hands before you come back down, catch yourself, get down low again. So there's your plyometric push-up. Next in the sequence will be your standard push-up, hands and toes again. Squeeze your butt, nice stiff plank position, down nice and low, and back up. Next in the progression would be hands elevated, hands on the bench, toes on the ground, bring your chest to the edge, press yourself up and away. Next, on our knees, knees down, make sure your butt's not sticking up and back. Squeeze your butt forward, straight line from your head to your knees, chest down towards the ground, press yourself up. Next in the list is a knees on the ground, hands elevated variation. Here like this, same idea, just with our hands up. Squeeze your butt forward, bring your chest to the bench, and back up. And your final variation, push up on the wall. Stand a little bit away from the wall, fall into the wall onto your tippy toes, push your face towards the wall, press yourself up away. Okay, so you're gonna pick a starting point. Your starting point is the toughest variation that you can do for 5 reps. You're gonna do 5 reps of that toughest variation and then regress by 1 variation, just like in the order that I listed just now. And do 5 reps of that next regression. And then once you've done 5 reps there, you pick another regression down and do as many reps as you can. So for example, if I started at the top here, feet elevated for 5 reps, and then plyometric where I'm jumping off the ground for 5 reps, and then your standard push-up with toes and hands on the ground for as many reps as I can do. Okay, and that's what you do each set. Then we move on to a Copenhagen plank. So if you've got a bench, awesome, but most of you don't at home. So what you're gonna do is use the corner of your ottoman or stool. Set yourself up on the ground, knees gonna be supported on the corner, and then bring your other leg up nice and close. Open up the hips, right? From the bird's eye view, you're a straight line from your head to your knees. Your butt is not behind you. So squeeze your hips forward and through before you drop them back down. Up, squeeze forward and through. Drop back down with control. Up, and the way down is just as important as the way up. So don't just drop your hips down to the ground. Control them up and down. If you want to make this a little bit tougher, you can also lengthen your lever. Support your foot on the edge. Here like this. And then just dropping down, coming up. Drop down, back up, and continue on like that. Do 8 reps or more on each side. Okay, if you want to do a few extra reps because it's a little bit easier based on the variation you chose, that's okay. Finally, we're going to do a 1-minute wall sit march. So you're going to make your way to your wall once again. With your back flat against the wall, you're going to walk your feet out until your knees and hips are 90 degrees. From here, what you're going to do is actually bring your feet together and then lift 1 foot off the ground at a time, shifting your weight from side to side just a little bit so that you can balance, forcing each leg to do a little bit of work on its own, alternating back and forth. Now, if you find that a little bit too challenging to lift the foot off the ground, what you can do is just try to maintain that 1-minute wall sit. Other variations would be to add some kind of load, maybe an odd object or dumbbell on your thighs as well to add a little bit of weight to that wall sit, make it more challenging. So we're gonna go through that for 1 minute, either marching or sitting still. So we're gonna go through all of that for 4 sets, and that's your strength for today. All right, at Metcon for today, we've got a 12-minute AMRAP of 1 to 4 ascents and descents of stair climbs, 7 burpees, 14 reverse lunges, and finally 7 dumbbell sit-ups. So our stair climbs, find a staircase in your home, and depending on how many steps it is, choose a number of ascents and descents. So you can go up and down 1 time or 2 or 3 or 4 times. If you only got a few steps at a time, choose the higher end. If you've got a long staircase, you could even do 1 or 2 times there. After your stair climb and descent, you're going to do 7 burpees. So you can step down or jump down with these as always. So here's a step down and step up, and then jump up off the ground, or you can jump down, jump up off the ground, there like that. So 7 burpees followed by 14 reverse lunges. Now you can hold on to your dumbbell if you'd like. Goblet reverse lunge, step back, knee to the ground. That was 2 reps that I just showed you. Here, I'll show you from the side. There like that. So 14 reps in total. And finally, 7 dumbbell sit-ups. So you're gonna make your way to the ground. You can have a little bit of bend in your knees, and you're going to punch the dumbbell up and then towards the ceiling as you sit up, and make sure you end up in this nice tall spine seated position, not rounded forward here like that. Up tall, control yourself back down. Up tall, once again, control yourself back down, and so on for 7 reps. All right, so once you're done a round, you go back to the stair climb. If you don't have stairs or a good place to work out on your stairs, just find a step that you can do step ups onto. I'll get you guys to do 10 step ups. So right foot up, left foot up, both feet down, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. That's if you don't have a good set of stairs. All right, so 12 minutes, as many rounds and reps as possible, and that's your Metcon for today.